This is Lady Shel. I am going to be talking to you today about converting modules from PDFs and just a tip that I wanted to share with you about when you get content like the one that you see on this right side of the screen that I took a screenshot of. I have some random town encounters, and there are 4 different towns. Each of them have different numberings. Each of them have different options. Some of them do not have certain options, and some of them do. So what I did was for each of these encounters, there was some text in the PDF, and you will look right here at Adventures. And this is the text that was in the PDF. So I created a story entry for each of these encounters. Then if they had a encounter this one has an NPC. This one has an NPC and an encounter. This one has an NPC. This one has a link to Ramen the Frost Maiden's Arcane Brotherhood information, and I did not bold that. Let me bold that. Okay. Each of these has a separate page. I also need to set the frame to blue too, because in the author extension, it allows you to create a background that maybe has a different inset with it. And I don't have an example right now. I don't want to export this as is because I don't want this random town encounters to go in with my module. You see what I did? I made all of these have their own option. Then all I do is I drag the option into the correct table. You can see the one over here is for Bernchander. This one here is for East Haven. And the numbers are different, as you can see on here. So my next number would be 45 through 49, and you look down East Haven and you look for 45 to 49 is the guide. So I just grab my guide and drag it over here, and that's pretty simple. It's really simple once you get these set up, the individual pages with the NPCs and the encounters or the random encounters that apply to them. And then you place them in the proper table, because putting this as an inlaid table, as you see it over here on the right, would not be helpful in Fantasy Grounds because the DM would have to make their own tables for each of the cities. So what I did was I'm making individual tables for each of the cities and putting in the appropriate information. And I think you could see here I have a 3-section number here. Now this is using the author extension, which is currently available to use in Fantasy Grounds. But apparently Smiteworks will be making this reference manual option available within the program, but for now you have to use an extension. I'm using the author extension, which I did a previous video on using, and I will link that in the description below so that you could look at that if you want to learn a little bit more about the author extension as it is now. I am working in Fantasy Grounds Classic, which will not be supported past the 24th of June 2021. So the reason I'm working in Classic now is because at this time it is prior to the 24th. So I still want to make content available for those that are still using Fantasy Grounds Classic. And keep in mind that if you are using Fantasy Grounds Classic, you do not have to stop using it on the 24th. It will continue to work. It just will not receive any updates or added content to it. So don't be afraid if you have a campaign going on right now and you're wondering what to do after the 24th, because nothing will change there. You can change. It's recommended that people upgrade to the Unity version because there's so much more content available and it will be fully supported. So it's up to you what you want to do. You're still able to use Classic past the 24th of June 2021. So what I have here, you notice that I have two section numbers, 01, 00. This is my first chapter. But if you notice down here, even starting in these previous encounters that I had, you can see I have three sections. I have a 12.2.01, 12.2.02, etc. I did the same thing down here. Why did I do that? I did that because I want that to indent from the main section. Because when you make, like the burn shander is 300, and then I have a burn shander separate one that's 301. And you notice this is black, this is pink. That means that this is a header or the main chapter, and this is a subchapter, which means that 301 will be indented from 300. And when you look down here, you will see 1200 is your main chapter. Your second page of this is 1201, which would be indented. And then encounters on the road will be at the same level as 1201, but winter and wolves, thug and icewind kobolds, all these with three sections will be indented a second time, which I don't have a screenshot showing that, but you can just imagine you have a line and then an indent and then a second indent. So anyway, I thought that was pretty easy to format the encounters this way. Once you get your section set up, then it is simple. You're just going to drag and drop. And then I make 4 different tables, and the DM will just use the appropriate table for whatever town that their players are in. So I thought I would do this and share this with you, and I hope that you found it interesting. If you are someone who converts things for your own use, or if you convert them for sale, I hope that this is interesting to you and helpful, and I hope you will leave a like if you enjoy this video, and that you will subscribe to my channel to get further notifications when I add new content. So thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.